Billionaire businessman Femi Otedola has donated 1 billion naira to Lagos Security Trust Fund. This is to complement the efforts of the agency in providing enhanced security by the residents of the state. Otedola announced the donation through his daughter and musician Tolani, who was visiting the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Tolani shared her father's wish for the fund, which is to encourage other Lagosians to make meaningful contributions for a safer Lagos.
My father believes that when well-meaning Lagos residents contribute to this type of effort, Lagos will be safer and we will all be more prosperous. He therefore encourages all residents of Lagos, especially the corporate Lagos and high net worth individuals, to take a moment to reflect on the significance of donating to the fund and then make the decision to contribute regardless of size, as every donation has the power to create ripples of change.
Now, Arise News analyst Dayo Sobowale joins us now to discuss this very substantial personal donation, as well as how all tiers of government can leverage on their capacity to rally support from critical stakeholders to enhance security in Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us yet again. Welcome to Newsday, Mr. Sobowale.
Good afternoon.
Right.
Yes.
Now, great development. Of course, we all know Femi Otedola is no stranger to philanthropy. However, this is a different type of philanthropy, strategic and beneficial to society at large. What's your insight and what are your thoughts on this?
Well, the Otedolas are well known in Lagos State. The father was a governor. The grandfather of the lady making the donation was a governor in Lagos State. And see the amount, 1 billion naira to the Lagos State Security Fund. It's not something they just started. About 17 years since they've been doing it. It's a step in the right direction. It is corporate social responsibility. At first, I thought it was the power generating plant that made the donation, but now it seems it's from the family. The family is from Ekpe, Lagos State. So, you see, in public relations, the concept of corporate social responsibility says that a company should try to pump some of its profit to enhance the environment in which it operates. You can do that through philanthropy. You can do that economically, you know, through some grants and so on to the society. What the Otedolas have done is a good example of that. You see, if you go around Lagos, you see police vehicles. I'm sure you see more police vehicles saying donated by Lagos State Security Trust Fund. So it's something that is being used to secure Lagos. It's being used to secure Lagos, and it's very manifest. What others should do is to emulate that, especially the banks. The banks make fantastic profits, but they pour little or nothing to society. I can cite a good example of Zenith. Zenith at Christmas, which lights up a whole street in Victoria Island and makes people feel happy at Christmas. But they can do immensely lot more than that because they make far more profit than generating companies like Gereku, which Otedola owns. And honestly, the government should find a way of involving the banks in improving society, especially in these lean hard times that we are in. I will look at Otedola's donation in terms of how the fund can be used for welfare-rich benefits, not necessarily buying only police cars. You get me? Because that too can be subject to some misuse or misappropriation. Because you see some vehicles, you see some private people in police vehicles at strange times. And you know that they are not on security patrol. But it is worthy of emulation. And I think if banks, especially, and it's not only banks, no, and it's not as if other people are not doing it. You know? Because I know in sports, so many fields. Many companies have devoted a lot from their corporate social responsibility fund to society, because it is in their own interest. You see, in the socialism, they say if a rich man does not make his neighborhood happy, then he cannot sleep well in his bed at night, because if people are hungry, they will attack him. But Lagos State is a buoyant state. The Otedolas are part and parcel of Lagos, and they are contributing. And as long as the money is judiciously used, you get me? Judiciously used. Because if you look at the state security fund, not only in Lagos, nobody talks about state security fund, even though people are being killed all over the place. But we are lucky in Lagos. We have a more vibrant governor, and we have good antecedents at being welfareist and looking after the people, because the people of Lagos are very articulate and vocal. They can always shout foul if they feel they are being sidelined. So far so good. I say kudos to the Otedolas.
Well said, right. Mr. Sobowale. I like all the points you raised, in terms of the government finding a way to involve banks in gestures like this. But you also made two statements. Funds like this could be subject to misuse and misappropriation, and the money should be judiciously used. I'm wondering, what would you like to see in place to ensure that that doesn't happen?
Like what?
That it's not misappropriated, that it's not misused, that it's actually used for the purpose for which it's intended.
That's not the question. We have stated the obvious. Money should be judiciously used.
I'm saying, how do you monitor that? That's the question.
Well, I don't know how to monitor that.
Okay,
because we don't know, you know the exact amount, unless government tells us what it does with it. Nobody will know. I just mentioned the State Security Fund. Nobody knows how much it is. Nobody renders account. Nobody up to now. Whereas what you just said is that it should be transparent. You should know how much it is, what purpose it is used for. But it is not done for the state security. Even the same for this fund from the Otedolas. Yes, it's for the fund. I don't think the fund renders any report on how it has disbursed it. But that's how it should be. But that is what happens in this country. State security funds are not transparent in the way they are deployed. You get me? The result there is that when we are all safe, we are happy. It is when tragedies occur or when criminality abounds, then we say, what is the fund used for? But nobody has ever answered how that fund has been used.
Has there been enough pressure regarding that?
We are still on it.
To up the ante.
Part of the pressure is what you are saying.
Yes.
So we keep at it. That's all we can do. And like I said, may God help us if the society is safe and nothing happens. But if something like what happens in Plateau happens, then we will all hear that what is the fund being used for. But it is the duty of government at any level to be transparent in how it has used funds to secure its environment. Just like the Otedolas have come. They have not said they want an account of how their money is being used. It's from their own magnanimity and their welfareists, the largeness of their own heart that they have brought it. Let those who are deploying it have the good conscience to deploy them diligently, assiduously, and as expected. That's all we can say. Any other question?
Right. Now, so beyond Lagos State, and I'm glad you've made reference to other states as well, what strategies do you think we can employ such that other states can maybe adopt this model of not relying on the fiscal budget in order to implement security, but to also engage the high net worth individuals, and those corporations that are making huge profits in their environment? What are some of the strategies that can lure people and because obviously security benefits us all, but a lot of people are still sitting with the money in their accounts. So do state governments need to maybe create some policies, tax breaks, things of that nature that can encourage high net worth individuals in those states to come forward and also create these funds for various states around Nigeria?
So what's the question?
Can other state governments,
Yes.
how do you think is the best way forward for other state governments?
You see, there has always been private government relationship. But this is corporate social responsibility. Some companies may feel they don't even have enough to look after themselves or their staff, or even their unions may say that you are not looked after us, you are looking after government. Whereas in other places, the company may feel sufficiently gratified in that environment to want to plow something back. So it is a 50-50 situation. Depends on the nature of mentality of those running the government, doing business in that area, and the drive of the government leaders. That means if they want to partner with them, they can approach them. They know the breaks they can give them, like you said. They know they can give them free land, give them free this. Okay, but you see, these things are not done. Look at our roads. You will see some big companies, you see the road leading to their environment. I mean, almost impossible. But they live there. What is wrong with them asking the local government, we give you this to do this, or we do it on our own, and so on. What if they want to do it, the local government will not agree for them to do it. They say it is their own responsibility, whereas they don't have the funds. So it depends on the will of the politicians and the magnanimity of the companies not making good from the environment to want to plow something back. It's not a compulsory situation. Since, okay, if what the Otedolas have done, if it was done in the name of a company, they will be branded as good corporate citizen. The mark of citizenship, good corporate citizenship is a mark of doing well in your environment for any company. But then it depends on how the regulator, government is the regulator of the environment, how cooperative they are, or how welcoming they are. Look, I'll give you an example now. My own experience. My bank at the time wanted to sponsor the Green Eagles. So we gave some money and we asked for some account to be rendered. Of course, we never got those accounts because it pays those running the federation there to go to government, just collect huge funds and then fly it over to where the players are playing and then distribute. Nobody renders account for that. So if you are a good corporate citizen, you even want to help, but you know you must render account to your company at your AGM. You spend so to this, but then it depends on how do I put it now? The fiscal responsibility in this company and the readiness of the local government or state and so on to receive funds. If you are ready to receive funds without being asked to render account, they will not worry to receive such funds. Well, it's a pleasure.
It's also a pleasure to have had you. Thank you for sharing your insight.